What's good, everybody? It is your boy, Abdul Rashid. This is Elevated Vibes Radio. Yes, everybody, as you can tell, I'm a lone soldier today. But we gonna still roll with the conversation. We gonna still roll with things going on. Y'all know the deal. Hit me up. 708-223-8953. Once again, that is 708-223-8953. This is Elevated Vibes Radio on IntellectualRadio.com, my iHeart radio station. And everybody, we're going to do this a little bit different than what we usually do. All right? If y'all remember Elevated Vibes back in the day, we did like a rap session. That's right. We just going to talk deep, keep it real, and make it do what we do. You know what I'm saying? All right, y'all. Here's the deal. Right now, it's men's wellness month. All right, and through this month and many other months during this year, we've been seeing different males that wasn't being well, starting in the White House and on down. All right, but talking about this wellness and things of that sort, we still have to bring understanding of self. All right, understanding of culture. You know, yes, I flipped from the wellness because I had to give respect to the month and talk about culture and understanding the culture and standing together as one. All right, this is the job for this rap session. This is what we are to do. We are talking about trying to stand together as one. Once again, y'all can hit me up 708-223-8953 or hit me on Facebook Live. Let's get in. Let's talk about it. All right. Now, when we start saying subcultures, you know, and for those who don't understand, I'm gonna break it down for y'all. I'm an African American male. Okay. Now, that can go in so many different ways. And I'm just going to say with myself, I'm an African American male that's a Muslim, all right, that is originally from the south suburbs of Chicago. Okay, and I can keep going down the line. Came from a two-parent home, all that. You know, what we have done many times because of some of our differences, we put everybody into certain little groups, and then those who stand against us, who want to hurt us all, who want to keep us all down, who want to keep us all oppressed. You know what they do? They take all that and pit us against each other. All right? And this is what we have to do. We have to flip that script, y'all, and we have to stand together. Okay? Now, we've had times throughout history, and those who pay attention to history, we've had times throughout history where it's been publicized with us going at each other, from simple debates to music to whatever. All right, I'm gonna give you some examples. You had Booker T. Washington against W.E.B. Du Bois. Excuse me, I always mess that up, y'all. You know, which gave you all things such as the talented 10. Now I want y'all to think about this. And much as we respect both Booker T and Mr. Du Bois, much as we respect them both, imagine if they stood together. Imagine, and I'm for real, y'all, imagine if they worked with each other. Do you not all believe and think that a lot of things that are pitted against us right now, would it not be a little different? Would it not be where we are past those things? Great minds such as those two giants right there. Do you not think that we would not be past it? All right. And, you know, we have to look at some of the things out there and flip it from what it's becoming. All right. Nowadays, you hear DEI like it's a bad thing. You hear like, oh, DEI has never worked for me and all that other mess, and I'm being kind. Okay. DEI, inclusion. Well, excuse me, diversity, equity, and inclusion. Okay. DEI can help a lot of us who it has helped, excuse me, I did say can, has helped a lot of us who's been behind that eight ball. And we know that we have the greatness within us, but because of what those who try to oppress us all, no matter, no matter what group you belong to, but because you are not like them and you are not thinking in their way and believing in their thoughts and living in their ideals, you are a little different. They flip it and use it against you, but that was something to help build us out from what they are pressuring us with to show our talents. So we have to stand along that line, everybody. We definitely have to stand. Now, let me give y'all, just in case, because, like I said, this is about subcultures uniting. All right. Let me break down the definition for a subculture for y'all. Okay. A subculture is a cultural group within a larger culture, often having beliefs or interest at variance with those of the larger culture, which I just broke that down to you, just what we were starting off talking about. And then some examples that we talking about with subcultures and people bickering at each other. You could look at the older generation and younger generation. And I'm giving y'all just some of the old, usual terms that you would come across. Okay. Now, if you think back in the day, you had the older generation, that would speak on the younger generation's music, which we still kind of do today, but not as hard. And it would be back and forth where, people are, snapping at each other about or down in the music that these people may do or whatever. You know, I'm giving you some small examples. Okay. And see, but these small examples can rise up and build at the wrong times. All right. Now, I want y'all to think about this and definitely, man, y'all hit me up 708-223-8953 or on Facebook Live. All right. I want y'all to think about this. There are groups out there that were and still do promote some of the things that are within the Republican Party. They are minorities and they believe strongly within it, but yet they are suffering some of the same things that we liberals, Democrats, whatever you want to call it, have to suffer. All right. And they promoted this separation. They, how can I say, the Republican Party made sure that you would hear from these people, you would hear from these groups and such as that. Can I ask y'all, and y'all get with me and with understanding, what are some of these groups doing for you right now? Some of these groups who are minorities, who publicize the Republican Party, telling you all how great and wonderful they are. They're telling you this. Where are they now? I really want to know. And, they were all minorities. Please, somebody show me where they're showing out and helping the poor man in the neighborhood, where they're looking out for the kid who may want to get within a trade. They want to get within something. All right. And they need some guidance. Where are these people right now? Do you all hear about them? No, you don't. No, you don't. Everybody, we gotta look and make some. Let's keep it real. We got to make some noise starting now. We got to stand with one another. We can no longer, you know how we used to do. Oh, this person, and it was so petty. It's been so petty. Oh, this person's from the south side. Oh, this person's from the west side. Oh, this person is from Minnesota. This person is from Texas. And everybody, they sat back in their own groups and bickered at each other. We can no longer do that. All right. We can no longer do that while you got that orange issue in the White House throwing out executive orders like it's candy that's tearing us all down. We can no longer do that, folks. We have to step up. We have to stand together. This is what is needed. And then, like I said, we all have our differences, but that is what makes us whole. Because I want y'all to think about this. Within any city, within any country, you have these different peoples, but they are all one voice. They are all one country. And I'm saying different peoples. Just think about it. You have your builders, you have your doctors, you got your farmers, your people who do, security, stuff like that. They're all different, but they're working together to make a nation. And I think, folks, that we have that problem that we're still standing in our corners, yelling and screaming at one another. And this is something we have to cease and desist right now. Truth be told, we should have done that a long time ago. But right now, there should be no more of that. And we got to pick up, stand up, and do what we must. And there are many organizations, folks, that we can get with, we could stand behind, that will fight these issues that we all have to deal with, especially for the next 4 years, 3.5 years, whichever one you may want to call it. All right. So, and I just been hitting at different things. Like I said, you guys are definitely welcome to jump into this conversation. Remind you the number 708-223-8953, or again, head on Facebook Live. Now, guys, also too, I want you to think about it. You are taught about many leaders within government through the past. All right, let's throw one out there: J. Edgar Hoover. I mean, this man has ran the FBI, and I hope I'm being correct there. He ran the FBI from 1924 to 72, 73, something of that sort. All right. And he did everything to break up, tear down back then anybody or anyone who was having minorities to get together. And I'm telling you all this to show you the importance of standing together. And I want you to think about it. We go down the line. All right. Hoover had an issue. We can go back to Marcus Garvey. All right. He had an issue with him. He had an issue with Dr. King. He had an issue with people within other countries that you may have, heard about, Patrice Lumumba. I can't even think his name, from Ethiopia. Haile Selassie, Nelson Mandela. Heck, a gentleman that is within this same platform that I sit on, his father, okay, Fred Hampton Jr., I'm sorry. He had issues with all these people. Why? Because they were putting minorities to stand them together as one. They was gathering minorities to stand together as one against a system that was there to tear all the minorities down and keep them under the thumbs of that system. I want y'all to think about that. And hey, if you got an issue with what I'm saying, you definitely welcome to hit me up on Facebook Live. Hit that number up 708-223-8953, and we can definitely talk about it. Okay? Everybody, right now, and what I would love for you all to do, and if those who are within the entertainment industry, well, that would include sports or whatever, that we hear their stories about them bickering with one another. All right. When the media promotes those stories to keep us paying attention to the small bickering of, whoever these people may be, the stars, that what we would call them. When you see that the media is doing that, turn the channels. Turn the channels, tear down their ratings. I'm giving you ideas on how you could do different things to not promote the separation of our culture, just because we have these subcultures within ourselves. You see it all the time. So I think personally, this is something that we need to do, and I'm happy to promote that. Promote that us as a people stand together and stand up against a system that has been doing this to us for some time. And this is what we're going to do right now. All right, we're going to take a small little break, let y'all hear a little bit of music, and we're going to come right back. This is Elevated Vibez right here on Intellectual Radio.
Let's go to the park and play. We can have a picnic on the grass if that's okay. Let's go to the mall. I can buy you shoes. We can do whatever you want to do. We can talk about the past, about how things used to be. We can talk about the future, talk about everything you see. No, there ain't no playing when the gloves come, when the lights go dim. There'll be no more talk. Don't worry, cause there'll be time explaining.
What's good? What's good? We are back once again. This is Elevated Vibez. I am your boy Abdul Rashid. And like I told you guys, you can join this conversation 708-223-8953, or you can hit me up on Facebook Live. Today, we are speaking on subcultures need to uniting to build our minority back up to stand against the systematic oppression that is sitting out here against our people. And I'm going to jump to another example that we we need to go ahead and start working to make better. Excuse me. Within politics, I'm gonna give you a couple of local politics and the bickering and the fighting that shouldn't have been there, and it made minorities look like a bunch of. We made a minstrel show in a way. All right, in Dalton, where you had Tiffany Henyard. Okay, she liked to promote that division, that foolishness, you know, of us. What should have been done, like one of those situations where that was that big brawl that they had that time with, I can't even remember the gentleman's name. Okay, it should have been a number of people within that crowd to stop that brawl before it happened. When things started to get heated, they should have put an end to some of that. And a lot of us, and I've done stuff like this myself, we rather sit back and wait to see what happens. That's one of our biggest problems. You see an issue, you feel an issue coming up, you need to take the initiative to get up and stop it before it happens. All right. You have right now where within the Democratic Party, you got your standard Democrats and you got your progressives. One of the reasons why we lost the presidential election. All right. There were those that knew that something was going on with the president, Joe Biden, at that time. There were those that knew, and everybody stayed in their own little circles instead of, hey, let's get this out here. Yes, we got this issue on the other side that's doing what they're doing. Okay. We got that issue on the other side. What we got to do. Hold on, we got a caller here. Okay, caller, go ahead.
Hey, how you doing, Abdul?
What's going on, brother?
I was wondering how you would consider the different factions, and you say you want to get the subcultures together.
Yes,
I
sir.
was wondering how exactly would you take the subcultures and try to break their differences up? Because, like take the religious right?
Yes.
You have conservatives within the African American community. Maybe they wouldn't get along so well with the, gay community, or maybe they wouldn't be for women's rights. So how would you get different groups that may have some things in common, but maybe their main thing they wouldn't have in common?
Well, you would try to promote what they do have in common. All right. You have to try to promote what they do have in common and push them closer to that togetherness, and then try to work some of those issues that they have out. Yeah, I mean, we're all different. Okay, we're all going to have a difference. Everybody didn't grow up in the same house. You still got differences. You grew up in the same house. You know what I'm saying? But you have to get them talking at the table and trying to make a try to put them on the same plane. You know what I'm saying? And try to have them working together. A lot of times, like I was just about to say, everybody sits in their corner and they rather bicker and fight than find a solution. I mean, this is what you got to do. You're going to have your conservative folks, you're going to have your homosexual folks and whatever. But I mean, what I do believe that each one of them, no matter what they are, they want to have a better world for the generation behind us. I think that's a common thing for every human being on this planet.
Mm-hmm.
They want to have that, that better world, that better society. So there's got to be a way where you can, find that common ground, and you got to try to do it. Right about now, most days everybody's just trying to fan the flames.
Of course, and everybody has their own agenda. So,
That's true.
Yeah, I guess as long as you focus on the ultimate goal, which is to make the lives of our children better, we can leave our differences behind, so to speak.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thanks for calling.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye. And that's what I'm saying, folks, that, we got to find this common ground. We got to find this, this level playing, and that's what I want to say back to the thing with, moderate Democrats and progressive Democrats. Some of these things that were secret, that should not have been secret, should have been put out there. It should have been put out there to the people to find that, that better way. And then you could have had you would have had Kamala more prepared and going against Trump and bringing more out there. I mean, let's keep it real. She may have lost, but she did what she did, which was still close and a heck of a campaign in something like 107 or 110 days. Come on now. You got to give credit where it's due. All right? No doubt. So still, like I said, everybody, on the things that we have to do, we got to fight for this togetherness. Fight to stand as one. Can it be done? Yes. And it's something that we must do. I mean, you see some small examples of it right now within the world, within different things. And I'm going to give you guys an example. Okay. I think you all may, through other shows, heard me mention this man's name. Okay. Ibrahim Traore, out from Burkina Faso, their president. More and more by the things that he is doing right now, he is getting many sections of Africa to stand as one. There are those in Africa right now who are speaking of that one united Africa as they did back in the day with Omar Gaddafi and a few others. It can be done. We have to, promote that, accept that, and build towards that. Let's no longer, no matter what you are, and we can go down the line, no matter what you are, if you are a minority, I would love to say the majority, everybody should stand as one. That's where I want to be. That's where I want to get to. But at least to the point of a minority. If you are a minority, no matter your differences, and I don't care what you are, and I'm not saying, this group is wrong, this group is right, this group is better, whatever. Ain't nobody saying that. But take those differences, set them to the side for right now. Take what you all know and you all believe what is right, and let us all stand as one. All right? Without a doubt. Now, once again, I am your boy Abdul Rashid. This is Elevated Vibez Radio. Now, everybody, make sure you keep tuning in, keep with the intellectual radio platform. We got so many great things on here that, trust me, you will be educated, you will be inspired, and guess what? You also be entertained. All right, I'm your boy Abdul Rashid, and we will catch y'all next week. Peace.